All right, so it's a OR double. So OR double is a triangle, as we can see, right? All right, them say M is the midpoint of OR. Let me just say this first of all. You see, once they say they mean from O to R, that means the arrow should be going this way. This is very important. So they will give you some clues as to how the arrow. So note, they could have said from R to O, right? But they said from O to R. So that means O is the starting point, R is the end point. It's as if they're saying this. Same principle. And from O to W, so from O to W is X. Oh, that one is actually shown. And double R, from W to R, notice the arrow, guys, right? The arrow is going to this one, to W, to R rather, and to W in this case, is Y. And they say express from O to M in terms of X and Y. So first of all, we're going from O to M, but we're not gonna go directly. Ah, Jesus, a parent are calling. Can't answer that now, you know. I'll call you back at 12 here. I'm in class. I'll call you back at 12. I'm in class now here. Yeah, man, I'll call you back at 12. I will call you back at 12. I'm in a class now. All right. So guys, we cannot go directly from O to M, right? That's not how it works. So we have to actually go from O to W, and then from W to R, and then from R to M. So that's how the journey really goes. So we're gonna go here, here, here. An easier way that we can actually do it as well is to find R double. So R, from R to double. And wait, let me put this in a black. Black is the best color. Although my art teacher said no name color R black and one color. And my favorite color that. So R to double. Not R to double. We shall find OR rather. Yeah, so we're gonna find from O to R. And if we find from O to R, we just find the half of it because that's what OM is, a half of it, right? So we could find OR. And I'm gonna show you guys how easy this is. So we're going with the arrow. Yes, when you're going with the arrow, it's positive. So this from O to R is actually X, which is this root here from O to W, and then from W to Y, which is Y. So guess what? This is OR, X plus Y. So from O to M would have been halfway of OR. Everybody agree?
Yes.
It's basically half of this, right? Because they told us that M is the midpoint of OR. So basically, we can just find a half of OR, and that would be from O to M. So from O to M, we just divide by 2. So that'll be X plus Y over 2. Hold on there, guys. Give
Why
me a
did you
second.
divide by 2, sir?
Eh?
Why did you divide by 2?
Because OM is a half of OR. So if you know what is OR, I could put numbers on it. Let's say OR was 8, because remember, this represents the length, right? These represent the length. Let's say this was 8, from O to R was 8. What would be OM? What would be the length of OM?
4.
4. So it's the same thing, right? Not because of algebra, we divide by 2 because we divide the 8 by 2 to get 4. So this part would be X plus Y, and this part half x plus y and this part half x plus y, basically. Hold on there, guys. Give me 1 second. Somebody got it. Let me do it. All right, so let's do from W to M, right? I'm gonna take this route, guys, this specific route. Or I can do both, you know. So I'm gonna go from W to R, and then, because from here to here is W to R, and then I'm gonna go R to M. I think probably that one is the longer route. All right. So from W to R, we're going with the arrow, right? So that would be R. Y, rather. So this is Y. All right. For this part here now, it would have been minus. So because we're going against the arrow, I think I have to write with my something. This is gonna be minus a half of x plus y. Because remember, originally we said that this was x plus y, right? When we calculated, we get the entire thing to be x plus y. But we're only going halfway and we're going against the arrow. So this is gonna be a minus. So what we have to do, expand the bracket. So we're gonna say y and then we times a half by x. Negative a half times x would give us negative a half x. And then negative a half times positive y is gonna give us negative a half y as well. All right, I could group the like terms. Hope everybody are following up. Is we just expanding the bracket, right? Because this in itself is negative a half x plus y, right? We can also write x plus y divided by 2 as a half x plus y. Everybody agree? Because look at it. If we were to put this as a half x plus y, when we expand the bracket, we'll get half x, half y. And this is the same thing. But remember, this is a negative because we're going against the arrow. So when we group it now, it would be y minus a half y. Because we have to group the like terms, because that's how algebra goes. Consider this as 1y, right? And then you have minus a half x. One take away a half, leave what? If you have 1 and you take away half of it, how many leave?
A half.
Positive a half. Very good. So it's positive a half y minus a half x. Because remember, x and y are two different terms. So we can add the x term with the y term. So this would be your answer. Make it digest, guys. Make it digest. Because as I said, this
Sir,
is kind of new in terms of saying when you're going against the arrow, it's going to be a minus. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
sir, can I go over
All right. We could do it again.
that part, sir?
Which part? The last part? I think I'll just go over
Yes, sir.
I think I'll just go over everything though. So it can benefit everyone. All right. We could go again,
Yes,
guys.
sir, because the
I think
minus.
I'm gonna use a different color. I used that last year. I can go back to that. I'm gonna color code it, right? So basically, we're gonna go from W to R, because that's the route. You cannot go directly, you know, that's how maths work. You can't go directly, like from W to M, right? So what we do, we have to choose a route we want to go. So me choose the route from W to R, which is here. I could give you a visual. But the length of this is Y. So that's why I have Y here, because they said that the length is Y. Now this line measures X plus Y. The line here itself, you know, is X plus Y. The entire line are X plus Y. because we work it out earlier. So this is x plus y. But guess what? Here is halfway. We're not going to go all of x plus y. If it was a case where we're going here, we'd just add the x plus y to this, right? But we'd have put the minus out there. But because we are going only halfway, it means that we have to find half of the x plus y. But because we're also going against the arrow, we have to have the negative. So once you're going against the arrow, it's going to be negative. All right, cool. So that's how we get the negative here, and then half of x plus y, which is the entire length. So when we expand the brackets, it would give us minus half xy, negative times a positive, negative again, so negative half y. And then now we group the y terms. So as I said, what's y? Take away 1y minus a half. Somebody say a half. And then, of course, we just put the minus a half x. So that would be our answer. So technically, we're going from here and only halfway. So we're not going to go the full distance. So because all of this is x plus y, we just find half x plus y. Hope that makes sense. But because we're going against the arrow, it has to be negative. I think that's the part that is basically fairly new to us once we're going against
Against
the
one
arrow.
of the arrow.
No, man, it will come in play. Once you're going with the arrow, it's positive. So the arrow is this way, but we're going the other way. So it's negative. But it will come in play eventually. You will understand it. It's not that hard. We could alternately go this way from W to O and then from O to M. That would also be from W to M. Because remember, it's from. So I could try that route there. Because I want you guys get the full understanding.
Sir, because if the arrow is coming down, RM, when it's going up, it's negative, and when it's coming positive, so it's coming
Yeah,
down,
yeah. If you're
it's
going against the
negative.
arrow, meaning the arrow is pointing so. So once you're going against it, it's gonna be negative.
Oh, yes,
Yeah, but once you're
understandable.
going with it, it's gonna be positive.
Understandable.
Yeah. All right, but let's say it was an exam and a student choose to go from W to O and from O to M. Because that's another route you could have taken, right? So let's try that route.
So don't clean it. I'm going to write it off.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna clear it yet. All right. Difference of 512 divided by 8. 512 divided by 8. So 64. Yeah, I eat that. Let's see if that's an option. Yeah, because volume are the number of space it occupies. So you have to find the entire volume for the big one and you divide it by the small one because that's the amount of space the small one will take up 8 centimeter cube. So that'll be 64. Bad question that, you know. We're good to go now, guys. We can clear it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to work it up here so instead of clear off this. All right. So guys, we're taking a different route now. Let me try highlight it what we're going. We're gonna go from, remember I know we're from W to M. It's more than one route you can take. So we're gonna go this route from W to O and then from O to M instead of doing the other way. All right, so from W to M. Why am I not use block? All right. So now we're going against the arrow. Everybody agree? It would have been against the arrow now.
So it's
Because,
negative, sir.
yeah, so it's minus x. It's just x alone, right? And then now we're going halfway from O to M. So we're not gonna go the entire OR, but we're going halfway. The entire thing is x plus y, right? So that means halfway would be just half x plus y. And of course, we know if we do the maths already. We expand the bracket. Half times x would give us positive, because this is positive half, we're multiplying. So this will give us half x. And then half times y would give us half y. I left off the x. Not like nothing in x, you know, man. All right, well, on the guys, I'm put down about the x. As you guys have to see it. So it would be, I think it's underestimate the space. So it would be minus x first. Right, the minus x first. Because we're going against the arrow, so that's minus x. And then we expand now. So a half times x will give us half x. All right, cool. Let's add this now. What's negative a half plus half x? That would be minus half x, right? Because the one is bigger. Hope everybody has see. The one is bigger, so it would be half x, and then you plus half y. Now go over this one. But you see, it's still the same answer as this one. I didn't get to write it. Remember about them here, so I can write it properly. But it's still the same answer. Everyone should have this already. Think about it, guys. If you have negative 1 plus a half, that would be negative a half, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
you still will get the same answer, even if you go went this route. Sometimes it don't work out to be the same, you know. I've seen a question where if you go one route, you don't get the same answer as another route, but both of them correct. But what happened, it was a proportional one, like a ratio. Like one side was 3 and one side was 2. But if we work out this, negative 1 plus a half is negative a half. And of course, we have plus a half y. Because nothing that if you do to the y. So it doesn't matter which route you take, you will end up with the same answer in this case. By the way, guys, in vectors, we don't normally leave the negative hanging out. So what we do, we put the positive first. So it will be half y minus half x. It's almost like an unwritten rule to leave the negative out there. So they normally do it like this. But you still end up getting the same answer for both. I don't know which route you guys would take, but yeah. Eventually, everyone can take all the routes. But I think the key thing that we have to know, guys, is when we're going against the arrow versus when we're going with the arrow. Because, for example, this was OR, so this is OM, so the arrow is going to turn this way. So that is why I have positive here. because we're going with the arrow. But if you're going against the arrow, then it's going to be negative.
With the arrow is positive, against the arrow is negative. Let me write it down.
All right. So guys, we soon look on another one and see if we can. I want you guys to try and then we can discuss it after. We can compare. Can be a bit tedious, but it is also very nice if I get to know it. All right, so it's a OXY, which is this triangle. You can see that's a triangle, right? Okay, so we check out yours. OX is equal to 2C, so they gave us that. OY, which is this, OY, oh yeah, OY is 3D, all right? And they say find from X to Y in terms of C and D. Once you see C and D, it means that the answer should have been C and D. So we're going from here, guys, from this X right here, and we're gonna go right here. But remember what the rules say for that, right? Once it's vectors, we don't go directly. So there's no way we can just go from from X to Y this route. We have to go this route. So let me write it. Here is the text one. So from X to Y, we're gonna go XO first, right? And then we add OY. Remember when we just started it, right? We said that vector must have two things. It must have direction and a magnitude or size. So what's the value of XO? Since OX is equal to 2C, that means we're going against the arrow with XO. So it would have been minus 2C plus the distance of OY. But what's the distance of OY? They gave us, right? They gave us 3D. That's the answer. But as I say, we don't leave the negative hanging out. So like my good friend Akila did, just put 3D minus 2C. And that's our answer.
We get it up, I'm afraid to say it. I say probably some more.
No, man, send it. As I say, guys, once you get it, it's very simple. If you don't get it, it can be very complicated. But because you're going against the arrow with this one, so notice this is OX, right? So if we're doing XO, we put the negative there. It's the inverse of it, really. And of course, OY, you can see that we're going with the arrow, so it's positive. And that's it. That's it. All right. I could see we have 10 minutes, guys. I could see if we can try. Originally, I said we'll probably go through three. So I could see if we can go through the next one. All right, I could try that one here. It's a OMR is a
Sir,
triangle. Somebody want a
sir,
screenshot, no?
yeah.
Guys, on for right one. And then I look back on them screenshot then. Hold on. Now look back on it at let me know when you finish. Kind of quicker still.
All right, sir.
All right. That goes for everyone. Everyone write it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
Notice, guys, for this one, we didn't have any halfway and so forth. So that's why we divided by the two because it was halfway. But that one is a little bit different. There was no halfway or anything. So we have to look out for that as well. All right, it's a OMR is a triangle, which we can see for ourselves. OR, so from O to R, where are they? Oh, yeah, so O to R is X, and O to M is Y. And it's a find from R to M. All right, so go ahead and do that one. We have 8 minutes. We can take 2 minutes and do that one. So send in that one, guys, and we can end on that note with the solution. So go. All right, so they say OR is a triangle. OMR rather. OR from O to R is X, O to M is Y. And they want us to find from R to M. So you're going to go from R to M, but remember, we cannot go directly, right? So we are going to go RO first. And this is very important, guys. The root is very important. We not OR we're going in because a R with it. Just think of it as the alpha tree. You understand? So this is a alpha tree, this is a crossroad, this is a town. You're not gonna go straight to town, right? You have to go crossroad first and then go town. So you're the alpha tree. So that'll be RO because here's your starting point. Here's where you have to start from. As a from R to M. All right, boom. So from R to M now, you're going against the arrow. Memorize it first, OM. Go down to the next line. So that means the RM is equal to, you're going against the arrow. So that make it what? Wouldn't that make it negative X? Plus, you're going with the arrow with Y, so plus Y. That's it, guys. That's the answer. So Rm is equal to Y. But we never normally leave the X hanging out, the negative hanging out. That's it. Don't need done this one. All right.
Sir, I just sent a man before I work it out. But I write at the bottom X minus Y.
Oh, it's not the same as Y minus X because in negative, X supposed to be negative. You see that?
So I get the negative X plus Y, but because I'm putting in the negative, I just write X minus Y.
Yeah, but what I'm saying that's still the opposite of it. Because
Oh,
the X supposed to be negative, not the Y. So it's very
oh
important.
yeah.
Yeah, the Y positive. So you have to be careful when you are rewrite it. And I notice a number of persons have this up here, minus X plus Y, but when they're writing it, they did like what you said. They make the Y be negative. They just say X minus Y. That's not the same thing, right? It's not the same thing. So put the Y, literally I turn it around. Y positive, so Y here, and then this negative. So it's Y minus X. All
Okay,
right?
sir.
Yeah. But we will look at it more, guys. We just started. There are many of them on this. See, there are 14 pages, and we only do 5 so far. Some of them probably blank. All right.
So, sir, 160 people would have like so many in there. It
No,
would only
man.
be like
But
30.
no, it's one. They probably give us one, but me
Okay,
as a teacher, we have to go through all of them, right?
understand.
And we have to look for one with the collinear. And the one that gives students a lot of problem is the ratio one. Like like when they say this is from M to A and then they put the ratio, students tend not to get it. Like them say this is 1 to 2. Students fail to see that the line would be 3. Like if they say this is in the ratio 1 to 2. Sometimes I don't know why it's so difficult, but students will not see that the entire line is 3. Because if one is one part and this is two part, that means the ratio would give you the total when you add them, right? So the entire length would be 3. And this portion compared to the other part, this would be 1/3 and this would be 2/3. So hopefully, guys, it's literally today I don't know this paper. So I haven't gone through it as yet, but hopefully those are on it and we can go through those. All right. But they are very similar to CXE. This is a IGCE paper, a British paper. But it's very similar to CXE. Maths is universal. Same thing we do at Jamaica, we do at Africa, we do at Europe, we do at China. Everything are just the same thing. It's really universal. But anyway, guys, take care. Because I know the parents are calling me now. So take care and we talk. I will send the video though.
Sir, I want you
Thank
to
you.
remember me, sir, with the
Yeah, man.
SDA thing.
Yeah, man, I will.
Sir, As I hear SBS, so I sent a voice note and I sent you one again Wednesday, no respond.
Oh, guys, me not do
Hello,
well with
man.
voice note, but me I go listen it. You better you text, because sometimes if I'm in a class, I don't get to listen it, and then sometimes I might forget. Just send me a WhatsApp or I can read it. But
I'm
I will
gonna
listen
send
it
you
now.
a WhatsApp now.
Yeah, all right, all right.
All right then, sir. Take care.
Yeah, take care, guys. Just go
All
and
right.
practice them. I'll make you guys get the video by later.
Hi, sir.
All
So,
All
right,
right.
take care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, man, big up the John. Take care.
excuse me, sir.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Will you be in school tomorrow?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Sir, every time I come, you're not there. I don't know why.
Me in the lab, but last time I never come that day there
Last
when you forward,
Friday,
man.
I come
Just
Friday, I come to school Friday,
I was there Friday.
and I left my maths book in a mess to the room, so I have to come for it tomorrow
Oh, all right, all right. You see if just to
and
do.
drop off some things.
All right. So just WhatsApp me now. Cause me have class all day doing it, but just WhatsApp me. Me not have no free session on a Monday.